The New York Yankees have more moves coming. We're going to be talking about how the Paul Goldschmidt signing with the New York Yankees is going to impact a major trade the Yankees are set to make, and why this Paul Goldschmidt signing has a hidden meaning behind it for the New York Yankees. We're going to be breaking down all of this here in this video. Now, before we get into it, though, we know 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel, and if you're looking for a spot to get all of your New York Yankees news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join us here on the channel. We're covering everything New York Yankees, and as I've been mentioning for the past dozen videos, the New York Yankees are not done yet, and you're not going to want to miss what we have to bring you. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's touch on this pretty big, significant trade update, actually, of what we're looking at after the Paul Goldschmidt signing. And for those who don't know, about a couple hours ago now, at the time recording this video, Paul Goldschmidt is signed with the New York Yankees to play first base for them after going over many different players. We've been discussing Christian Walker, we've been discussing Carlos Santana, Paul Goldschmidt being on that list, but there is another move that this signing has a reason to be made for. We're looking at Nolan Arenado, and we've been discussing Nolan Arenado here for quite some time on the channel, but there was a really hidden meaning behind this Paul Goldschmidt signing, which is going to bring out the emphasis on this trade. And Paul Goldschmidt, of course, on the St. Louis Cardinals, as well as Nolan Arenado, two very good friends, and there's a lot of reports and many ideas coming out that Nolan Arenado, obviously his requested a trade, was going to wait until Paul Goldschmidt signed somewhere before he moves his no-trade clause. And he has a full no-trade clause, so that is a very impactful, idea the Yankees have here on this topic. And I'll pull up our first screenshot here from Brian Hawk. Goes to say, now the Yankees have signed Paul Goldschmidt. Could a trade for Nolan Arenado be next? They are very close friends and may entice Arenado to waive his no-trade clause. And I'm going to go out on a limb, go out on a gamble, and say this was the New York Yankees' plan all along, was to get both of these guys in tandem with each other, fill both corners of the infield to really solidify not only the defense, not only the veteran leadership on this team, but secure this entire team to a set lineup. And that is one thing we really didn't see too much from the New York Yankees the past few seasons, is a set lineup where we really don't have a bunch of people moving in and out every single day. With this, Nolan Arenado, we know how good he is fielding. We know how good he is in every situation on the field. Of course, he has regressed over the past few years, but that will just come with age. 2 years off an MVP for Paul Goldschmidt. These are two players that the Yankees will certainly want to have on the corners of the infield, and having the ability to go out, and what they did and sign Paul Goldschmidt, knowing these two are very close friends, could entice Nolan Arenado to waive his no-trade clause for the New York Yankees, and that's what all of these reports are really hinting at, and this seems to be the Yankees' master plan that nobody is talking about. I will pull up another screenshot here going on. This was an article before the Paul Goldschmidt signing, so the idea was still there before that when the Yankees were originally linked to Paul Goldschmidt. And this goes to say, adding both Goldschmidt and Arenado, teammates with the Cardinals over the past 4 seasons, would allow the Yankees to shift Jazz Chisholm Jr. to third base, from third base, to second, with Anthony Volpe at short, solidifying the infield for the 2024 American League champions. And there is no doubt in my mind that an infield of Paul Goldschmidt going on to Jazz Chisholm, going on to Anthony Volpe, going on to Nolan Arenado is one of the best in the MLB, not only defensively, not only, a bit like every bit of ability, but hitting as well. This infield is one that you aspire to have going into some of these seasons, going into a year where you're off of a World Series, ultimately a loss, but this is a rebound year. The Yankees are knowing that they want to get back there, but they don't want to lose this time. They want to get back there. They want to show everybody that they were meant to be there, and adding these few additions as well as having Max Fried, Devin Williams to this lineup, just to name a few so far, this is the perfect Yankees lineup to get back to that result. Now, I see a lot of people really going over that, Nolan Arenado's contract is very, very high. Nolan Arenado is not as good as he was a few years ago. 2 years off of a Gold Glove, has not won one since after being, and still is one of the best fielders in the MLB. There are still many opportunities for him to succeed, and he is regressing, there is no doubt. However, he is still a very good ball player, as well as Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt winning MVP at the age of, 34, 35, whatever his birthday is, depending on that way, But it really goes to show that, age is not as big of an impact in the MLB as it is in many other sports. And in most cases, especially this one with the Yankees lineup is very, very young. That's one thing I personally have been discussing on this channel for quite some time, is that the additions that they're going to look to make is just a bit of a veteran presence compared to what they currently have. And I don't have the screenshot here with me, but if you watch past videos that I've kind of touched on these kinds of signings and everything, you've seen the concept I've had of this team is a very, very young core, and that's not going to change. You know, the infield is very young. The outfield has that bit more of a veteran leadership, including Aaron Judge, Jason Dominguez there moving in now, Giancarlo Stanton. But having the ability to add some more veteran leadership to your infield, as well as if Rizzo's gone now, you're really held without. This is a good thing to do, and the Yankees certainly have this in mind. But I did want to pull up the contract that we're talking about here. The contract for Nolan Arenado. The 8-time All-Star still has 3 years, $74 million remaining on his contract. He's looking to join a World Series contender and recently vetoed a trade to the Houston Astros. Now, I was going to make a video on that, but I ultimately didn't get the chance with all of this news coming out about Paul Goldschmidt, still Nolan Arenado being linked to the Yankees. But this really has a massive implication about how the New York Yankees have an advantage here. First of all, he don't think the Astros are World Series contenders. Also says he don't want to really go to that team, for some obvious reasons that we all know that I won't touch on right now. But we all know why there's a reason he won't want to go to the Yankees. But he was also reportedly holding out for the Dodgers to make a trade. Now, if the Dodgers are indeed involved in talks with Nolan Arenado, the Yankees were doing this move for Paul Goldschmidt to really solidify the fact that, hey, you want to come to New York, we have your friend, you want to waive your no-trade cost to come here, and we are most certainly a World Series contender. And realistically, if he wants to go to a World Series contender, as it says right here, there's two obvious teams, the Dodgers and the Yankees, and now that we have Paul Goldschmidt, I give the favor to the Yankees in this opportunity, in this case, and I think that this is one the Yankees had a built-out plan for. But $74 million over 3 years is not a cheap contract. And looking at what we have right here for said contract, $21 million in this upcoming year, $16 in the year after, and $15 in the year after, and will be $37 when the time this contract expires. Now, of course, Nolan Arenado, we won't doubt it. He has had some regression, as I mentioned, over the past few seasons. However, he is still very, very good. There's no doubt in that. One of my favorite players all time in the MLB, and that's even before he went to the Cardinals. So it really just goes to show how good he's been for so long. And having him on, well, of course, your favorite team, having the favorite player, might be a bit of a bias there for me as well, but it does certainly have a lot of benefits here for the New York Yankees. And although we see 21, 16, 15 over the next few seasons, having that ability, and if he can keep up even what he's been doing the past few years, and if he can go back to what we've seen from Nolan Arenado in previous years with the Rockies, earlier years with the Cardinals, he could be a very, very big steal for let alone $21 million, $15 million at the age of 36. And although he is a third baseman, still going to have that activity there, and we know how good he is. The fielding ability is not just going to disappear. If by some means he, starts to age up a bit, starts to lose the fielding ability, he's mentioned wanting to play first, although have not played first in his career, as you can see, on this one right here. He does have the ability and the want to go out and just play for a position that he may not have, full experience on, but certainly has the ability to play that with the fielding experience he's had at third base. So, no doubt in my mind, look at the hitting stats as well. He's still a very, very good player, no doubt in my mind, but I want to see him as a New York Yankee, and I do believe that this Paul Goldschmidt signing really is a hidden reason why they want to get Nolan Arenado as well. So let me know what you think, first of all, about the signing, of course, of Paul Goldschmidt. Do you think that's going to have a secret impact on Nolan Arenado? I sure hope it does, and I really sure hope that we see Nolan Arenado in some pinstripes. But that's all I got in this video. Let me know what you think about all of it, but that's all I got. If you did enjoy it, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. A lot of New York Yankees news coming, a lot more moves coming as well. This is only the beginning still. I've been saying this a whole lot, but the Yankees are trying to get back to this spot. So let me know what you think, but that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.